Okay, today we're going to be looking at ReSing by IK Multimedia. This is something we talked about on the channel, I don't know, a month or so ago, and it was just in the announcement phase. Well, it has now been released, and I think they're going to be continuing to update and do more information about this over the next week or two. But if you pre order this, supposedly now you're able to download it and have access to it. And we are going to take a look at it today and actually listen to it a little bit. This is one of the more exciting vocal tools that I've seen of late, partially because it is not, like a Suno AI tool, and that's great. I'm kind of a little bit over that sound right now for the moment. Instead, these are using vocal models of actual singers that use a bunch of tools to allow us to replace vocals with one of the singers. And I think that because it happens, offline on your computer and you have a lot of control of this, I think it's really promising. And hey, Plastodon, I see your comment there. So we're gonna do a little look at this and listen. More importantly, I know sometimes, like for instance, the Cubase 15 review I did last week, everyone was up in arms that I didn't actually, download it and buy it and showcase things. But that wasn't the point of that. This one is to actually hear what this can do and perhaps talk about what I think is one of the most exciting parts of the whole thing, which is the actual modeler that comes with one of the versions. Let me see, I'm just opening on this computer for the first time. This ReSing modeler is something that I think everybody should use if you're a singer, because what it does is it allows you to input your voice into their system and then actually creates a version of your voice that you can use with ReSing. And I think that's actually kind of cool to have, maybe not right this moment, but maybe in 10 or 15 or 20 years when you can't sing anymore, or maybe your kids or other offspring want to be able to hear what you might have sounded like. I think it's a cool concept. And it comes bundled with one of the versions. It's amazing. We'll talk a little bit about that later, probably. I'm going to quit it for the moment. And so, one caveat with this whole thing is that ReSing, in theory, is going to be a ARA compatible plugin. And of course, with Logic, we can only use ARA in Rosetta mode, and I've given up Rosetta mode forever. And so we're going to be using this in the standalone version. And some of you may be like, well, that's lame. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is like a utility that we're going to use in different ways. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to be using it in Logic. And I actually opened up, let's see, Luna. So I haven't, there's a few things I should probably look up and ask the team over at IK Multimedia. One of them is the ARA stuff fully functional as of this moment? I did open up Luna, which is ARA compatible, and it's not showing up in the ARA there. So that's a question mark that is for a different video probably. This plugin, this tool, ReSing, is the first time in a long time that I wish Logic's ARA functionality was working, because I can imagine this being a little bit more efficient. And so what we're going to do is, let me just start with the demo, the premise of the whole thing. I'm going to solo out this vocal from the song project we're doing. This is last week's song. I heard an old apology. I'm going to turn off the reverb and delay because we don't need those. I'm going to leave the rest of the plugins for now. the ones that are not time-based. Apology. The auto-tune pitch correction stuff, for sure I'm going to leave. But then I'm just going to bounce this out. And this is, the kind of that first step is to get the audio that we want to replace. And I'm just looking at my settings there. Sounds good. And I'm just going to dump this on the desktop. The kites remember for ReSing. Cool. And so this is kind of like the lead part in the verses. And if I was going to do the other parts, I would have to export them individually as well. Is this a pain? I don't know. It's not really a pain because as you're going to see, it takes all of like 2 minutes to do this. This is not like a long process. Could it be even faster if this was an ARA situation? Of course. Of course. But then we get to come in here. I'm just going to choose that file. I could drag it if I want to, but I'm just going to just pull it like that. And then you can now, let me see if I'm getting sound with this. Nope. Let's change my audio for, maybe I can do that. Mac Studio speakers. Oh, there we go. Let's see. I still have my sound for you. Okay, something's off with that. Let me change one more thing real quick. That should be working. Let's just quit it and reopen it real quick. It's one of those times when I'm like, I didn't think that all the way through. In terms of testing that out before the stream started. Yeah, that does not want to do it. Well, that is going to be a huge bummer. We're going to try Omnibus B. Nope. Although, why wouldn't A work? Okay, we are going to circle around. Just the faith, not me that love. Okay, so that's working now. Gremlins. And so what we have, let me go over this interface real quick. I can make it bigger. They can be resized, which is nice. We have a library, and I've got, we'll go through the different steps of this. I've got the top one right now that came with like 25 singers and 25 instruments. So we're going to look at a number of different things, which is nice. We can look at a lot of the voices that come with it. And you can see that you can import RVC models. So you can go online and import more, or import the ReSing models that we can create with a modeler. So a lot of different stuff happening with this. So Plastodon's asking, can IK Multimedia talk to the Logic team to add ARA for once? They've already, so the IK Multimedia team, part of which I'm in contact with, and I've been talking to, they did ARA correctly, as far as I can tell. This is still an Apple thing. Nobody's going to convince them otherwise until they do it. But man, wouldn't it be nice if it was finally working? Let's just load one of the top ones here, Layla. And then we have the 4 circles, which we can listen to a little bit of what they're doing now. But essentially, my voice is down into a lower range. I'm going to probably just transpose that up anyway. And then the accent or the way the voice sounds, we can either rely on Layla's accent or mine. We can change the character between balanced, lively, energetic, smooth, and mellow. We can do source dynamics, which comes from my voice, or do flat ones. And then we have like 4 effects: dynamics, overall contour, add some reverb, and then have an actual tune, have it be tuned. And the tuning is fine. I do prefer the nuance of what I'm doing in Logic beforehand, so I'll probably continue to tune it there and then bring it in and not use the tuning. But if I wanted to, I could just turn this on and put the notes I want in there and do soft, medium, or hard. Change the scale. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You can do 2 models, and then between them, you can do a fusion between the timbre of the 2 and the accent of the 2. And that's pretty much the main part of this. So if I want to preview what my voice sounds like with Layla, it gives you a short preview. Sometimes it makes sense to export just like the phrase you're doing and replace it so it's a little closer. But this has gotten, I think it's going to be okay. Let's see if we can hear it.
I heard an old apology.
So it's not because there's some space before my voice. We're just hearing that one little bit. So once we get that how we want it, we can just click process, and then it's an offline process to actually do this. I think, let's go to the page real quick. There might be an actual demo. Let's look. There's a free version, I think. Let me go check that out to be sure. Free software, or not free software. Let's just type in ReSing. Come on. I can't type. Come on, give me something. Okay, I'm going to let that work over on the side for a moment. So that's done. In the minute it took me to think about what I was doing there, it finished. So let's do a quick duplicate of that channel. I'll turn off the pitch correction, but leave on the reverb. And then I'll just grab that file from the desktop. That one, right? Ooh, I just grabbed them all. There we go. Okay, taking a second. And like I said, that we will go through versions. No, okay, so there is. I'm looking at the page. We're going to look at this a little later. I think maybe at one time they were thinking, I don't see a free version on here or a demo, so maybe you can't test it out for now. But we have the low end version, which is 10 voices, 10 instruments, 10 model generations, and limited imports for $89. And then the max version, which is more. Okay, cool. And then somebody's saying something in the chat. Oh, free version is coming. It's just not available right now. I thought that was the case. Thanks, Greg, for that. Those are the kind of questions I need to ask them. But I remember there being a free version on the site. And so, cool. Let's see. I'm going to mute my main version. I might have to adjust some levels here.
I heard it.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me hear what that sounds like out here. Okay, we're going to redo that one. Let's not do the transpose.
I heard an old apology.
This is a great demo so far. We're going to try, we're just going to load a different voice for the moment. I don't think, what would have caused that? Because that's not how it sounded when I did the preview.
I heard an old apology.
Let's go back to, let's go back to the other one for a moment. I'm trying to think too many things at once. Because Layla sounded good when we first did it, but let's reprocess it.
I heard it.
Okay, yeah, let's try reprocessing. There's something about the other one. Maybe it was because while it was processing, I started pulling up a bunch of other stuff. Shouldn't have caused any issues, but clearly the output of that caused some issues. And so we're going to try another one real quick. Let me close these other browser pages. Live streams, they're the best.
I heard an old apology.
Okay, let's try a different one because that's repeating the same thing. We'll just process another one with the same settings. Interesting. That's a first. I don't know if that's from a live stream issue. I don't think so. It could be. I mean, we are sending this out. It shouldn't be the driver output, but I can switch it over to my Mac output if I need to. Let's see if just a different voice does the same thing. But the preview sounded like normal.
Fading in the...
Okay, let's take the transposition down. One more try. Difference between the preview and the process. Something's happening. And if it does it one more time, then we're going to just troubleshoot one other thing. I don't want this video to become a troubleshooting session. Oof, but it might just have become one. Come on, give me.
In the light, you said you lost the faith, not me.
Whoa, that's exciting. Oof. We are going to talk for a minute while this in the background reoptimizes itself. That's exciting. Okay, so I'm not faking the test at this point. And for better or worse, here's what I will say. I did a lot of testing on my laptop last night, which is an M4 MacBook Air, and never had any problems. And now I'm on my M1 Studio Ultra, having just installed this morning the ReSing on there for this video. And the first couple of things I did sounded great. So I don't know if it's some issue. Streaming never gives me issues like this. But that voice, that's going to be one I remember for a long time. I'll catch up on some comments. Yeah, never disappoints. So I'm having it re-optimize. I don't know if that'll make a difference or not. We're going to find out. So here's when you install, you run an optimization. And I feel like that's the only thing, because the preview was playing right. And then I went to process it and it messes up. So, Oof, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here. This could be the shortest and most exciting video that I take down before anyone at IK Multimedia sees it, unless it's already too late. Hello from IK Multimedia, if you're on the stream. But man, there's two parts to me. One part says, ooh, I really want this demo to work right. And the other part of me says, what just happened? Why didn't it work right? And new software sometimes has things. Let's talk about just briefly the modeler, which is something I'm going to be testing out more. You can essentially feed it a bunch of recordings of your voice. They have in the manual, they have a really good guide for what things you're going to record. I really want to test it out with to see how little you can give it and have it turn out well, or if you have to give it just like endless recordings. I'm not what I would call like a great singer, and yet I want it to be able to replicate my voice as is. And they do make a big point of saying if you do this on a Mac that it can take days to process your voice and turn it into a voice model. But if you have a Windows computer with certain graphics cards, it uses GPU processing to do it, which I have a gaming station that's a couple of years old, but it has a nice NVIDIA graphics card. And so I'll probably be doing the processing on that computer in case it takes a few days so it doesn't interrupt any audio stuff. Man, this is something here. Let's see, Justin says maybe they're still working with the plugin. It's new. It just came out. Maybe they still got to fix some problems. Yeah, well, it's interesting that this works so smoothly on my M4, but not so much on my M1 Ultra. Although the M1 Ultra is still a beast of a computer. Yeah. We're going to try two other things if this never stops. One of them is I'm going to reinstall. I don't want to have to stop the stream, but if I have to stop the stream, then I'll probably pick it up tomorrow after troubleshooting a bunch of stuff. But we're going to see if we can't get it working today. I don't give up so easily. I don't think it's worth giving up so easily. But it said take several minutes. And my fan just kicked on. But this is my guess, is that this optimization somehow had a glitch. Wow, wouldn't it be nice to just be able to listen to it though? Okay. See, and I can just close it without any warnings whatsoever. That doesn't instill. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take this over. Well, great. Let's take it over to the other screen. And I don't know if it's going to let me reinstall. Well, with Logic open, maybe. Let's do this all on my second monitor in case they flash passcodes or something at me. Wouldn't this be nice just to... Okay, so we're reinstalling. I don't know if this will make a difference without a restart. But, man. How's everybody doing today? Placidon says, on a side note, I was testing the stem separating on Logic and Studio One, plus some free online services, and Logic is the best. Well, they've definitely put in some more. I might be having some clicks and pops. Do you guys hear the clicks and pops from my voice? What a day. Clicks and pops, maybe. Anyway, just ignore those for a minute. It could be because we're doing too many things at once all of a sudden. Ugh. Oh, so yesterday I was telling someone at IK Multimedia that I was going to be doing a live stream, and they said, "Cool. Hope it doesn't burn your computer down." Not the software, just the whole thing at once. Um, I didn't put a lot of stock into that comment until now. It looks like the installation is almost done, and once this is done, Justin, always make music. I love it. That's great. Yeah. So we are at the very end of this. It's now registering the updated components. Justin, I'm hoping for. I mean, honestly, hope is maybe the wrong word. I'm hoping for like this afternoon or tomorrow, right? And then because we are in that time of year when something usually comes out, if not by tomorrow, then maybe next week. But then we won't get anything over the holiday, probably, I'm guessing. Maybe they're going to do a Thanksgiving release. I mean, Apple's a worldwide company. Not everybody, for obvious reasons, celebrates Thanksgiving. It's one of those special American ones. But America is a big audience, and they typically don't do a lot of releases on there when there's the Black Friday stuff already happening. Plastidon, I need to figure out how to make you create something. You keep talking like you have the blocks, but we're gonna get you there. Well, even the installation. This may feel like I did a premature demonstration of this, but I tested it before the stream. So something about the stream brought out the worst in this thing. I will be, if this doesn't work, I will be hiding this stream and then redoing it and making it new. I don't want to leave up a stream that doesn't actually help anybody. Okay. That's still there. Let's just try one before I try to reconfigure. And then I'll try to do the reoptimization. Well, Plastidon, it's time to change and get the computer on and start recording. Like, do a song before the end of the month. You know what I mean? Like, set a timeline.
I heard an old.
Okay, so we're going to try to reoptimize. And then if this takes more than several minutes, then we'll just call this like nice time for us to have chatted. There's 20 people watching, but I might have to stream it from my laptop. if we do another one. What else could it be? What else? I'll have to reach out to them and say, hey, Musictron, my experience when it was working perfectly yesterday is that it's actually really good. It's really good. For some reason, turning on the stream has put Murphy's Law into motion, and I can't show that yet. But we're gonna see if this optimization thing changes anything. Put my hand off the mouse and just let it do its thing for a second. So while we're talking, I've been paying attention a lot to the new vocal synthesis tool that's in Cubase 15 from Yamaha. Somebody was saying maybe that it's like a Vocaloid reshell or something, but it is tightly integrated into Cubase 15, meaning you have a MIDI track, you load that on, and you go up to the text associated with each MIDI note, and you can type in the words that it sings, and it auto splits words when there's syllables. And it's basic controls, but it's like built into Cubase. And sometimes that's all we need, right? Is just a voice to do a song with until we can get a singer in, to put like the rough lyrics over while we're learning it. It's like I would do that with Synthesizer V in Logic if we had ARA, but the plugin version isn't great. I just want something that's tightly integrated. Musictron is asking, is this one cloud-based? And it is not. This is all local on your computer, which is one of the things I love about it. And you can use the voices endlessly. So you don't actually get to type in the words that it sings. This is not a vocal synthesis creator. This is like a voice alterer. So you have to have a voice originally, and then it will morph it into a new voice. And so you have to be able to sing something in initially, but you could use this with Synthesizer V. Why not, right? It's going to rebuild the voice using the new voice models, and Synthesizer V is a great source, or something like the Cubase voice synthesizer now. You could start with there, put it through this tool, and then come up with a voice that's different. But it doesn't create. This is not a creator of the original source. You don't get to type in and have a line come out. Nope. But this is still, I mean, look at how long, something's going on here. I think what I'm going to do, Roger's right, nail on the head with that. We need ARA for Logic now that more companies are using it. Maybe at the beginning it wasn't such a big deal, right? Maybe it wasn't a big deal when we just had a couple really esoteric tools that Logic already kind of provided, like Melodyne and Flex Pitch, similar vein. And Logic kept on saying, well, we'll just make Flex Pitch better and better, and it's really good. There's no question it's really good. Melodyne, I don't know if they've hit the ceiling. They're really good too. Probably still better overall. But we can't use it with Logic Pro in non-Rosetta mode. And so it makes it useless for us. Vocaline is another one. It's been around for a long time. That makes sense with that. But now we've got things like Synthesizer V, and now we have ReSing, and we can't really use any of them to their native. Okay, that finished. We are going to see if that made a difference. Oh, please, 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 please. Just throw me a bone here. So those who are just joining, we're trying to use this, but it was outputting very distorted vocals. And so I just reinstalled, re-optimized. And now if this still does it, then we'll know something else is the matter.
I heard it all.
And I don't think, my voice is not great, but it's not like default settings. We're going to process it with Neil. And then what's going to happen is if this still does it with Neil and one other one, then I'm going to end the stream and see if it's working with the stream turned off. Maybe there's something that this is relying on. It does use GPU processing. And so maybe because I'm doing a live stream, it's trying to get the same resources. It's possible.
I heard it.
Okay, so what we're going to do, if I turn off the stream and it's all working perfectly, then I'll be doing a canned video about this later today instead of a live stream. But I'm clearly... Oh, let me try one other thing. Let me go to my Mac Studio speakers first for the output. Buffer size is all okay. So ARA mode is grayed out. Oh, okay. Let me try one time with different audio output.
I heard in all the poverty.
Neil sounds drunk. Well, we're going to try this with a different audio output. And Roger, I was doing both. So I tried preview and I've been processing. The preview is working. The process is not.
I heard in all the poverty.
Okay, it is. My normal audio output seems to have been the issue. We're figuring this out. I didn't want to figure this out live in front of everybody, but because it was going to audio bus, which is my normal routing into the live stream, it just worked once. You couldn't hear it because it's going on my audio from my computer itself instead of through the interfaces. But I'm going to do this with Layla now, up an octave, and we're going to bring it into Logic. And I'll just pull this in. So we got a lot of these things. The latest one. We'll do that. Maybe it's, well, I don't think it should be the stereo file, although that is a stereo file.
I heard in all the poverty.
Oh, maybe I pulled in the wrong one. That was it. Let's see. Today, 10, it's this one right there.
Poverty.
No? Weird.
Through the world tonight, a voice said one.
Something is weird.
You said you.
Oof. Okay, this is the one that it just exported. I'm going to turn all the effects back on.
I heard in all the poverty. drift through the world tonight. A voice
Whoa.
leave down, fading in the light. You said you lost the faith not.
Something is still all over the place. Okay, we're gonna. Oh my gosh.
I heard an old apology drift through the world tonight. A voice that once believed death fading in the light. You said you lost.
Oh my gosh. Something is. Need a restart, redo, rebuild. Need to reset my entire computer. Okay, Roger here is an inside person. The auto option should use the vocal range of the model without transposing. Yeah, but it's not always doing it right.
I heard an old apology.
I mean, the pitch is all like swirling. I don't think I was that bad. Let me listen to myself again one more time. My voice is in a different range.
I heard an old apology drift through the world tonight. A voice I once but
Okay, I'm going to mess with this offline and either do it. I think I can get the stream working later, but I'm going to hide this stream, reconfigure, and restart. Thanks everybody for kind of suffering through this a little bit. We'll sort this out, but let me take some time away from the stream and do this offline.